Hey guys, Rexasaur here, and welcome to Update Monday. Today, the 22nd of April 2019. It's been a long week for me, mostly because I've been in France all week, as you might have noticed from last week's vlog, or Update Monday, I guess. It's been a long week. I have taken many media things, basically videos, as well as some pictures, but I don't know whether or not those will be used in a upcoming edited vlog of my trip to France and what we did there. I'm going to go for a artsy vloggy kind of thing, which I haven't done before, but I thought now was a good time as any to do it. The quality of the film isn't superb, but I'm going to try and do my best with it. I'm going to try and capture the feelings of the moments that I was there. Other than that, so I'm not going to go through what happened on my whole trip to France, other than I went to France with my brother and his girlfriend. We went to visit my grandparents, and then we went to several other places in France, such as Paris and the D-Day landing sites. And yeah, it was basically just a family holiday, showing my brother's girlfriend around the places we grew up, and just getting her involved in the French culture a little bit. And it was really, really nice to go back home and to experience all that, and to be fed ridiculously good food, and drink ridiculously good alcohol. It was beautiful. It was really, really good. We got really lucky with the weather as well. It was only raining for one morning and on Tuesday. The rest of the days was super sunny. I don't know if it was the same in Britain at all, but it was really, really good. I really, really enjoyed it. And then it kind of got fucked over on the return journey on Saturday. The ferry was great. We took the ferry from Portsmouth down to Le Havre, and it was getting the ferry from Le Havre back to Portsmouth that kind of fucked us over, because obviously we had train constraints to get back to Cardiff. Basically, to cut a long story short, we missed, because of the ferry took so long to actually get to port, we missed the train we were initially going to get, which meant we were stuck in Portsmouth for a little longer than we anticipated. And we were like, we got to the point where we could potentially have made that train if we had rushed, but because of the heat and also the fact that we hadn't had any food, we decided halfway through, when we realized we were not going to make that train, we then got all the food that we wanted and took our time. But the train that we did get, which was an hour later, it was a 5-carriage train, and we were so knackered from the whole journey that we didn't realise until maybe an hour into the journey that the train was actually being late at every stop. And that's when the conductor came through, and the air conditioning wasn't working in our carriage, and that was really odd, and so he had to open all the windows. And when he came back, he had water bottles to give to everyone, and then he was like, yeah, I'm really sorry, this train is super delayed, and it's going to be delayed all the way up to Bristol Parkway, because out of the 5 carriages, only the front 2 engines are actually working. Because, British transportation, especially being in France for a whole week when we've been, seeing French transport infrastructure, it's fucking despicably awful. I can't even attain just how stupid it is that the British government doesn't put more funding or change the way in which it operates the transportation system in this dumb-ass country. Because, it's stupid. It's absolutely just ridiculous. In any case, that aside, we basically had to go all the way to Bristol Parkway, because it wasn't a direct link to Cardiff, because obviously all the kind of roadworks, train repairs, rail changes, that all happens during the holidays, because once again, fantastic use of infrastructure, everything. So we had to go all the way to Bristol Parkway, and then from Bristol Parkway we had to take a bus from Bristol all the way to Newport to take a train from Newport to Cardiff. Rather than the journey taking, I think, our journey down, which was also alternated because we had to go from Cardiff to Reading, Reading to Guildford, Guildford to Portsmouth, which is, if you've got a map of the UK, that's like going this way to then get down there kind of thing. It's really dumb. In any case, this was more of a kind of way, straight to where we need to be. So we got to Bristol Parkway 1.5 hours late. We then took the bus, when the bus driver was really bad. He hit 5 curbs on the way. On top of that, there were roadworks on the motorway as well, which meant that it was rolling slower. Either way, we were tired and knackered at this point. We were so done with it that we was going through the motions. And then we got to Newport and it was fine. We took the train it was fine. Yeah, and then I got home. I got home at 9:30 after having left the French. We got up at equivalent of 6:30. The equivalent of 6:30 UK time, and to arrive at 9:30 PM UK time. So travelling for 15 hours, and that kills everyone. And so yesterday I was dead. Although, moving on from my absolute despicable travel, I did stream yesterday. I streamed from 11:30 until I think it was 3 or 2:30. Played some Total War Warhammer 2, played the Ikit Claw. I haven't played that game in so long, and now I remember why I love that game. I keep recommending it to people who ask me which one of the Warhammer should they get, because Warhammer 2 is fantastic. But really playing it again has made me realise just how fantastic it is. It really is just a really, really good Total War game, and I can't fault it, really. At the moment, so at the end of the stream I was getting a bit frustrated, mostly because I was tired. I think I only had 4 hours sleep, because I didn't go to sleep until 2 a.m, and then I woke up at 6 a.m. for reasons. So yeah, at the end of the stream I was getting a bit frustrated, but also because I was facing off against Lizardmen, who are their base unit is ridiculously strong, and my base unit was Skaven Slayers, which are ridiculously weak. I was surprised by how much I was holding, but then again there were several things within the game that was frustrating me, and most of that is trees. I hate trees. I hate the fact I love the way they look, and I get that it looks great and all that, and the way it works, and it's fantastic, but I just personally don't like fighting trees because I just can't vision what's going on. It just becomes a huge mess, which I guess makes sense, because that is how battles would work in a medieval fantasy setting. They would start off being lines but then get messy. That's totally fine. But in trees it just becomes we don't like it. Either way, so watch that stream if you want to. I will most definitely be streaming that again in the future. I think I'm going to put Kingdom Come Deliverance on the sideline just for a bit, mostly because I feel like I don't know how to stream that game, because it's a single player game. Well, that makes no sense at all, but it's a single player role playing game where it's mostly about the experience that you have playing the game, rather than in Total War where there's a strategy element to it. You get to I'm basically making so many decisions in a short period of time that I can explain each of these decisions to a listening audience, whereas in Kingdom Come Deliverance, because I'm not fast traveling everywhere, because it's a role-playing first-person role-playing game, I can't then go, I'm going to go here, and then I have to actually go there. So it's okay, what do I do for this 5-minute journey in game from A to B? I'm just going to say look, it's a pretty flower, this game looks pretty, and I've said that 5 times, and there we go. Now what's the end of the conversation? If I need to be I wonder what I need to do with this, I need to go into the menu, which stops the game from running. That's my problem with that game. I'm sure I'll get better at it eventually. In any case, that's that. So if you want to watch that Total War Warhammer 2 stream, it is on my channel. It happened yesterday, Ikit Claw campaign number 1. So I will most likely be streaming it this week. I actually, now that I've said that, I probably won't be streaming it this week, because this week is the week in which Imperator Rome comes out, which I will most definitely be playing with my friends, because I'm so hyped for this game. I'm pretty sure I've bought it, if I remember correctly. So really looking forward to that game. I'm so when Paradox release a game, it's like your birthday comes, and you know what, my birthday's soon, so might as well have. So yeah, Imperator Rome, that's going to be fantastic as well. I honestly can't wait. I remember when Stellaris came out and we all played together, and that was some of the best time I think I've had gaming. Just exploring the game with all my friends, all of us learning off one another, things that we've discovered very recently, fighting along the game, trying to figure out this game together. It's going to be fantastic to do this again in a game that I know I will enjoy just as much, if not more, than Stellaris. It's a shame really that I've never gone through a full campaign of Stellaris, either multiplayer or on my own, just for time restraints and just where I was mentally at the time. I feel like this time I most likely will be trying to get through a whole game of Imperator. It's going to be very difficult, mostly because of my job. Having a job is cutting off a lot of my time, and then I've got other things going on as well in my life, so trying to sort it all out. And this is something that I think I need to bring up with the XCOM 2 NLP. The time that I don't have is frustrating, because the free time that I do have, I want to spend just relaxing from having like a long day at work, or just chilling and not worrying, or playing with my friends, which I rate much higher than editing and playing on my own. So playing things like Apex Legends with my friends, or World of Tanks with my brother, or this kind of stuff, I will always do that above editing or recording a single video. And I feel like the XCOM 2 NLP is going to be a while just on that principle. I know when I've finally edited the first batch, I will then get into a system where I will continue doing it until the end. But right now, because I'm nowhere near even getting to that stage, it's probably going to be a while before it even becomes a thing, before I know what the actual storyline is. Obviously, I'm following the storyline of XCOM 2 or of The Chosen, but it's trying to fish out the recording and see, okay, well, where do I want this character to go? Because the way in which I work the XCOM 2 character, the story and how I worked the first XCOM NLP was that I had 6 episodes done before I started editing episode 1, so I knew where the characters were going. I knew which characters were going to die. I already knew which characters were leveling up. I knew which characters I was taking on every mission. So knowing this, I could then formulate the narrative from episode 1 onwards with the knowledge of what happened 6 episodes down the line, and that was really helpful. And I need to do that again with XCOM 2, and so far I've only got 1 episode recorded. And I know what's happened in that episode. I know it very well, and I'm very intrigued to see where it goes. But it's getting the recording done, and then getting the editing done, and then once the editing done, I can then start actually pumping out videos. But because I've only done 1 episode, because I haven't edited it, because I haven't got my intro card or outro card done at all, all of these things take a lot of time, and I just don't feel like I have the time to do it, because my time is being used on other things that I deem more important at the moment. That might change, but at the moment that's the reality of it. So XCOM 2 NLP is in the pipeline, but if you imagine this pipeline being in the North Pole right now, the exit may be somewhere near South Africa. That's a very long distance. So don't I don't even want to say expect it this year, because I can't promise that. It might happen this year. I would definitely hope that it happens this year, but hey, that's that. So that's XCOM 2. What else? So D&D, still playing that with my friends. Today I've got my second group coming, because it's a bank holiday here in Britain. So they will be coming over around 1ish, and we were going to play some D&D. It's going to be really great. I'm very excited for it. It's going to get me in a social interaction, which I really crave right now, because I feel like I had a whole week with my family and my brother and and his girlfriend, and I felt like I had lots of social interaction, which I was thriving off. I then had last 2 days, well, I feel like the travel day was basically a lone day just because I was fucked, and then yesterday was very much a day where I just was by myself, and I don't feel like I very much got out of it what I wanted. I don't feel like that's what I needed. I feel like I needed a day when I had people, and I just didn't have any people, and I suffered because of that. But I feel like today, because I've got people coming over, I'm going to feel much better. And then tonight, the stream helped yesterday. Tonight, hopefully, if Dragonheart is around, me and him and Tsunami are going to play some Apex Legends, and I'm really looking forward to that. Played some Apex Legends on my own yesterday, actually. I'm getting better at that game. I got into a game with 2 randoms. One of the randoms died very quickly. No, this is what happened. We landed in a place, and I died very quickly, but I didn't die. I just... Or did I die? I think I died. I don't think I got back up. I think I got killed, and then they put me back up, and then we went to a new place where another guy died, but we didn't manage to resurrect him before he left. So it was just me and this other guy, and he was leading. I was following, definitely following, and I had guns that I had a longbow, I'm pretty sure, and I had a R301, and I didn't feel like I was doing wonderfully with those. But we went around, and then it got to the point where we were in the last 5 teams, and then every team we came across, we just absolutely wrecked. And I was absolutely just mind blown by like the ability that both of us were able to do this, and it just felt like the stars aligned kind of thing, and we just do it. So I became a champion. He fell like at the last, I think it was 2. It was just us two squads, us and them, and there were 2 on their team, 2 on ours, and I think he got downed. He'd taken a lot of damage off the enemy, but he got downed, and it was just like I was just focusing on getting this fucker dead. I managed to kill him, and then the champion of the thing came up, and I was like, fuck, how did that happen? But yeah, so that was really cool. In any case, that's not what I wanted to talk about, but that's what happened. So yeah, D&D, doing that today. What else? Writing. Right, so for a very long time, I have been writing my own novels and worlds. The fantasy things that I write are what I use for my D&D. It's what both of my groups are currently using. The world that I've created for my fantasy novels that I write, they are there. They are basically the reason why I've done this is so that the information, because they're traveling through the world, it forces me to build this world out the way I want it to be built out. But also it gives the input of the characters and the players to that world, which gives me more ideas, which I can flesh out and expand, and it's really, really great. And I really like that. I do have another novel on the road, which is not fantasy. It's like I don't want to say teenage romance, because it's not quite that. It's like psychological thriller, romance, teenage fiction thing. It's really odd. But I've been writing it for like 5 years now. I say 5. I started it 5 years ago. It's gone through a full re-edit, but it's not finished in any case. But I had the like spark. I basically forced myself while I was in France to write it more, and I got really into it, and I wrote quite a bit, and I feel like I'm getting over the halfway point at this point. So hopefully I'm going to be doing some more writing this year. And actually be able to finish this book, and that's what I really want to do, is finish this novel. Don't say book, it's not going to be that big. For finish this novel, it's going to be very interesting, and then once I finish it, I'm going to see what my friends think and what the people think, and who knows, we'll see where that happens. Either way, that it's like a passion project that I've had for a very long time, and it made me feel really good being able to write that. And that also yesterday on the ferry, 5-hour ferry journey, I wrote quite a bit of it. I wrote several things that, I don't know, when I write, I always think, like, damn, how the fuck can you write this? Like, in terms of, where are these words coming from? How are they appearing on the page? How are you making these things sound good? How does the things work? And I just, like, when I let my mind just flow and do this, I especially find this when I write poetry. I just let my mind flow, and then it comes out with things. Especially when I write in French, I just find these turns of phrases that when I read back on it, I forget that I'm the one who wrote it. And this isn't me being like, look at me, I'm a fucking great writer, but it's kind of really surprising. And this is another part of my like mental infrastructure that I just don't understand, and that I try to understand, and that I just don't, because it's like I'm not reading what I'm writing, I'm reading what someone else is writing, and then I remember this is what I've written. But it's like writing makes me forget in a weird kind of way. Anyway, that was a weird turn. I've been all over the place. This is a very long Update Monday, and I apologise for that, and I apologise for everyone who's stayed this far into the video. I had a lot to talk about today, and I wanted to share a lot of it because I feel like sharing things helps. And I just needed, it's like getting things off your chest kind of thing. I feel like I need that right now. I just feel like I feel really isolated. Not because I don't have access to the people to talk to, not at all. It's just that it's like, I don't know, it's like something's missing. Really, really frustrating feeling that something's missing. And it's really frustrating because nothing's missing, you know? Or maybe something's missing, but I haven't remembered what it is yet. But hey, whatever. Anyway, I've had a good week. This coming week, Imperator Rome comes out, so you may see a stream about that, or you won't. I want to do another Warhammer 2 stream. Maybe do that this weekend. Either way, you know, whatever. It might happen, might not. Can't promise you anything because I don't know what I'm doing most of the time anyway. But hey, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm very sorry for it rambling for so long. If you have stuck it to the end, then thank you, really. It means a lot to me. And I'll see you next week or during the week, depending on what happens. Ta-ra now.